What's up, VC? I'm back. I don't know how often I'll be back, but it's been a while since I made a video, probably sometime in the summer, not even sure exactly when. For those of you checking out my channel for the first time, my name is Kieran, Needle Groove, on Instagram at Needle Groove Vinyl. If you follow me there, you know that I moved this past fall, so that's been a lot of work when you have a lot of records, as some of you may have experienced moving records. Wasn't as bad as I thought, but end of September, kind of like an unplanned move, just decided to, my girlfriend and I started looking at different places and we found something we really liked and we're really happy. So here we are. First thing I did was, thankfully I was able to move over the span of a few weeks. 2.5 weeks about. So I was able to do it in stages, because if I had to move all the records, all the furniture, everything in one shot, it probably would have been a lot worse. But so as soon as I got the keys, first thing I did was pack up all the records. I already had the boxes. I use U-Haul boxes, which are heavy. A lot of people recommended I didn't use those, but I did because I just wanted to get as many records in as possible instead of like doing bags. They pack easily in the car. Not so bad. Yes, heavy. Yes, the handles do rip if you're not mindful about how you pick it up. But we were 3 guys. Took about 3 hours. A couple like back and forth. So not so bad. Got that done. Boom. And then had a couple weeks to move the rest. And as you can see, the way it kind of worked with my shelves in the past, I had records in 2 different rooms, one like the living room, dining room, and one in a little record room. I had kind of accumulated these IKEA shelves over the years, and as a result, it was a mishmash of colors. I didn't actually buy these shelves for the most part. It was like, you know, friends getting rid of stuff, and as the collection grew, I'm like, oh yeah, I could use another shelf, and then it gave me more space for records. But the result was not very, you know, color coordinated shelves and a little annoying. So we decided to paint them, knowing that they're not really meant to be painted and it's a pain in the ass. But my girlfriend and I, since we had some time between places, we kind of got the shelves over right away as soon as we could, and in steps got these painted. So they're not perfect, but it works. There's records on them, so you don't see a lot of the imperfection. It does scratch off very easily because you know, it's not real wood, it's not meant to be painted, but it works, it looks good, the space is super bright, and the white shelves just help with that kind of light, airy feel. So yeah, super happy. Nice listening space on a mezzanine here. I have my headphones that I got this summer, new headphones, Grado 325, so those are great since, you know, living space downstairs where my girlfriend might be watching TV or whatever, I can come up here and listen on my headphones. So I might share more, you know, show you the space in another video, but I just had a little bit of time and it's been a while since I, you know, have been on here. So I wanted to just say what's up and show some records. Another result of moving was I kind of had a bunch of records that I had put on the side that, you know, maybe sell. I still have some that are more for sale, but some just, you know, cheap stuff, $5, $10, $20 records that I wouldn't necessarily post for sale. So I brought a bunch into the shop, probably about 100 records, different things that, you know, either I'd purchased or I had inherited from different people. I brought some stuff into the shop, which gave me some trade, which was great. So I didn't have access to listener records for a few weeks as I was, you know, kind of trading these records in, but I've picked up a few good things. I've bought a few, but mostly all of what I'm going to show is trade I had at various shops from bringing stuff in. So let's get into it. I'll show you. These are kind of in no specific order, but I'm just showing used stuff. I have picked up quite a few new records over the past like 3-4 months. As usual, there's a lot of great, as you know, audiophile kind of reissues, the Blue Note Classic Series, Tone Poet, the new Impulse Acoustic Sound Series. So I have grabbed not all, but several of those, enjoying that stuff, and the quality is great, especially on those acoustic sounds ones. I'm really happy. And then a few other reissues, and the new Muriel Grossman, but I won't show that stuff. That stuff's been, you know, especially on YouTube, the audio file stuff's been shared and talked about to death, because it is great stuff and good quality and affordable. So I'll just show you, here we go, all my used stuff. This is what I was just listening to now before jumping on. This is the music of Andrew Hill. I've actually had never heard this Andrew Hill recording before. This is my first time listening to it. Perfect for this kind of cloudy, wintry, cold afternoon here, some reflective listening. I will have to listen several more times to fully digest, but this is John Gilmore on tenor sax, Bobby Hutcherson on vibes. Love all those 60s Blue Note sessions, either led by Bobby or that he's on, just hits the spot for me. Andrew Hill on piano, obviously, Richard Davis on bass, Joe Chambers on drums. I'm not sure where this falls exactly in the discography. I know it's more towards the mid to later 60s, I believe. What's the one? I can't think of the one that I know it's before, but so it says the last release here is Compulsion, which I know is a heavy one and I haven't heard. Probably the heaviest is my understanding, and this is right after that. This one is not dense, it's very spacious, light, in terms of like avant-garde free. It's not, it's very accessible listen, more of a reflective listen than like a all-out free jazz, which Andrew Hill's records are not really. But yeah, so this is a beautiful, like, it's not an OG, it's a West Coast Liberty, probably from like 1970, but it is, as you can see, basically brand new, as is the record, super clean. So happy to find that. This came from the same place, all came from a local shop that I traded in a bunch of stuff, and none of this stuff actually ever hit the floor. It was, you know, stuff that the guy there had been going through boxes and stuff that the shop had probably for years and years and years, and he pulled out a bunch of stuff that he thought I would like, so I was very happy about that. This is Jackie McLean, Destination Out, another one that I'd never heard, didn't have in any form, CD. Another one of those great mid to late 60s, you know, Blue Note, more avant-garde, out there leaning. Once again, not free jazz by any means, but exploring a little bit more. This is a Liberty, stereo Liberty pressing, I believe probably from 1970. And once again, it's in just stunning shape. Another one with Bobby Hutcherson. This one has Gratian Moncure on it, as well as Larry Ridley and Roy Haynes. This one is from a bit earlier. I think it's from '64 originally. And I was really, I mean, not that I didn't expect to be blown away, but excellent session. And great cover too. These are the kind of, you know, grails, let's say. This one, once again, heavy, not heavy, but like, what do I want to say? High price point, valuable records as far as that goes. It's up there in my collection. I barely had to pay anything for it. Was able to trade in a few things, and that's the way I kind of like to do these kind of more expensive, rare pieces. Not something I was necessarily like seeking out intensely, but it showed up at the local shop. This is original mono pressing of Hank Mobley Workout. So don't really, not much needs to be said about this, just classic Blue Note session with amazing cover. Grant Green, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones, and I think there's someone not listed on the cover. Maybe, what session? Oh yeah, no, it's just Mobley on sax. So thrilled to have this. That one I knew I did have on CD. This one, not something I had in any form, and when they showed it to me at the shop, I passed on it because it's not in the best shape. And then when I went back, I was like, let me hear this record. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm never gonna see this again. It's not that expensive because of the condition. And the guy there told me he thought it sounded really good considering, and I was shocked. I decided to get it, listening to it at the store. Sometimes it's hard to tell in their little setup, but when I got it home, I just couldn't believe how good it sounds considering what it looks like. And this is an original pressing of John Coltrane's Lush Life. The cover presents really well. There are like, you know, minor beginning of splitting, but the spines is perfect. Front of the cover, just a little bit of, you know, wear there, but original Fireworks label, and this is absolutely stunning music. I was not familiar with it, and stunning cover as well. I'm sure you all know this. If you don't, beautiful, beautiful record. This is one that was been on my radar for a couple years now, and I was really thrilled when it popped up in one of those boxes at this shop. So once again, this was all trade. Louis Maholo Octet Spirits Rejoice. This is, you know, a on Ogun record, so a blend of South African kind of Cape jazz and more free jazz, European British players. So there's Louis Maholo, Evan Parker, Kenny Wheeler, Nick Evans, who I'm not familiar with, Radu Malfatti, Keith Tippett, Johnny Diani, and Harry Miller. And this one, really, the moods on here are range from like very heavy, intense free jazz to just absolutely stunning, beautiful, beautiful, kind of reflective, celebratory. You have Wedding Hymn on here. You really need to check this out. It's the tracks that hit for me. The heavy ones I still need to digest, but the ones that are, you know, more reflective, spiritual type jazz, amazing, really beautiful, and hits a sweet spot for me. This one I just picked up a few days ago, actually. It had been in a shop for a while. I guess they put it away and then put it back out, so for a slightly more reasonable price. So this is Life Tones for a Reason, kind of reggae dub, but in the 80s and more with some kind of electronic. Some of the sounds on here are not like my typical vibe, but I'm gonna have to give it a few spins and see if it lands for me or not. Just got that one. These I was happy to find. A couple Grant Green records didn't have. This one is absolutely killer, Grant Green Alive. This one, Shades of Green, both from the early 70s on Blue Note. Need to speed up a little here, so I'm just gonna rifle through these. This Frank Loeb Black Beans, I already had this heavy record. My copy was nice, but I was able to pass it on to a friend and upgrade to this like stunning, perfect copy of Black Beans. Not an everyday record for sure in terms of listening. Need to be in the right mood for that one, in the right setting. I had never grabbed this, The Amazing Adventures of Simon Simon, John Sermon, with Jack DeJohnette, kind of like trance-like music from 1981 on ECM, with the synthesizers here, and as well as, you know, playing clarinet and saxophone. Interesting one. This is a Dudu Pakwan, another South African jazz record, in the Townships on Earthworks. It's like a late 80s reissue from an early 70s record, and this is just, I love South African jazz. This is just such joyous music that brings you know, good vibes for me. So I love playing this stuff. This was a Grail item here, Ian Carr's Belladonna on the Vertigo label. Is a Canadian pressing. Once again, this is something that he pulled out at the local shop from the basement. I was just shocked when he brought this up. I was shocked and thrilled. So really happy to add this to the collection. One that will get lots of spins. Sweet Life, Reuben Wilson. This is organ and blues band. Reuben Wilson, I guess, his organ and blues band on Groove Merchant, known mostly for the sample, but really enjoyable, particularly that track. But is it Inner City Blues? It's the first track on the records. Yeah, Inner City Blues by Marvin Gaye, but just Tribe sample. Okay, it's my first UA mono, Johnny Griffin, The Congregation. Super clean, like brand new. So early 70s United Artists mono pressing. Sounds pretty good to my ears. Really happy about this one. I had seen the cover. This is a reissue from the early 70s on Atlantic of a mid-60s Randy Weston record with a different title. I can't remember the name of it, but the best track on here is African Cookbook, and that would be probably why they reissued it with the title African Cookbook and this stunning cover. Another Randy Weston record, Carnival. Seek this one out. Super cheap, $5 to $10 record. Live at Montreux in '74. Billy Harper's on here. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Don't sleep on that. La Joie de l'amour, l'initiation, un film de Denis Héroux. This is a soundtrack from the 70s of, I guess, some type of, erotic movie, film. And there's like some really cool stuff on here, some Psyche. I think it's kind of sought after. I think this came from my friend's aunt. Unfortunately, she passed away, but she had a few records left in her house. And yeah, this is some in the very weird mix of records, a little stack like this, but this was the best one out of the batch. So cool to check that out. I'm sure some of you know it if you're into psych. Picked this up just last weekend, the Cannonball Adderley Quintet, The Happy People. I'd seen this cover, but had never heard the record. David Axelrod produced, George Duke. Looking forward to getting into that one. Norman Connors, Love from the Sun, have always wanted this record, and somehow in all the years of digging, never found it. Killer lineup on here. And I'm gonna have to end this video. Last one, sick Canadian jazz record that I didn't know about, Pacific Salt. So that's it. Hope everyone's well. Be back soon. Peace.